Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Bring Her Back. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Shall you? To leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Bring Her Back, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, Bring Her Back. This is the follow-up film from the Filippo brothers. I do believe I'm saying their names right. I apologize if I am not, and this is their follow-up film from Talk to Me, a phenomenal debut film, also coming from A24. And you know, these guys, I said it at the Talk to Me review, I'm going to say it for this review as well. It's just hard for me whether this movie is good or bad, or any movie that they do is good or bad, for me to just not feel a lot of pride and just really proud of them, and just feel very inspired by them, because they started by making sketches on YouTube. You've probably seen their most famous one, Star Wars versus Harry Potter. They've always been known to really push the envelope when it comes to action, just how gruesome it is. They really do have an eye and an imagination for it, and this film really does show it as well, with some of the body horror elements that they do within it. So, you know, just, you know, knowing that they made a film and that it is a major wide release, it just really does bring a huge smile to my face. And like I said, Talk to Me was a phenomenal debut, one of the best debuts that I've probably seen not in a really long time, because there's been a lot of good debuts. Jordan Peele would Get Out, and others as well, but you know, Talk to Me is another really good one. And this one, as their sophomore film, I would say is decent as well. I do think I like Talk to Me a little bit more, because in this film, you follow a brother and a sister. After a tragedy happens, they have to move into a foster home, played by Sally Watkins, I do believe is the actress's name. And she also has a kid there, but of course not everything seems as what it seems, right? And there's also a much darker thing that's happening behind the scenes with our main characters that deal with this lady. And within that aspect, it is very interesting and is very intriguing. But I will say that the movie makes itself known on where it's going pretty early on. And I'm not saying this as someone who's like, ooh, I've watched a lot of movies, I know exactly where this is going beat by beat. No, I honestly think maybe it was the intent to make it known on where this movie is going as far as it goes with themes. I mean, the way this movie is able to communicate, not with just the actors on screen and within the dialogue, but with how they're moving the camera, when they have the camera in focus, when they have the camera out of focus. You can really tell whose point of view you are in just by how the camera is focused within on this film. It truly is a technical marvel in a lot of aspects. Like a lot of things that they learned from Talk to Me, they're like, okay, we can also apply it to this, and we can also do that. Cinematography is absolutely phenomenal. Editing is great. Direction is really good within the film. And like I said, they're great with the communication within it from the get-go. You can really see where the movie's going, and I do think it was very intentional. It's just you run into two different options when you do that, and it all really varies on the audience member, right? There's the one that I went on, and then there's some that I'm sure other people went on as well. Is that one option is that you are ahead of the characters. That is a foregone conclusion, because you know where the story is going, right? In a lot of ways, that could add to the horror, that could add to the thrills, that could add to the suspense of the movie, because you know it's going to happen, and you're telling your characters, don't do that, don't go in there, don't do this, don't do that, why are you doing this? And therefore, there is that sense of dread within it, which this movie is really wanting you to feel. It really wants you to feel dread throughout. The other side of it is that in some parts, it does come off a little lackluster. I don't want to say boring by any means, because I was never out of it throughout this film. It's just, you know, within their, and again, I don't want to keep comparing the two, but in a lot of ways, these two movies go hand in hand, because a lot of their themes are very much shared. A lot of their themes are very much shared throughout the whole entire film, like mourning and death and moving on, and how to cope with that. is very, very prevalent throughout the whole entire film. And just within their first one and their debut, I just felt like it was a lot tighter and much more entertaining in a lot of ways, even though both of these films are, tragedies in a lot of ways. But, Talk to Me just had this tempo and this beat to it where you were just engaged throughout and you were never just like, okay, come on, let's keep it moving. Let's move along here. While in this film, you were just like, okay, come on, let's get to it. I get it. I know what you're trying to do, but come on, get on with it. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Because there is with how Sally is playing the character, she is still keeping you there. If she is not in the film, like, I don't know another actress who could possibly really keep you engaged throughout. It's almost a Toni Collette level of performance where, if she's not in it, the movie is just simply not as good. In fact, maybe it is unwatchable. Maybe I am looking at the clock a lot more if it wasn't for her. Because again, they're so in your face with where this movie is going that you do kind of check out in some areas of it. Now, with that said, once we do get to the third act of the movie, I was very invested. I was cheering for my heroes. I was booing my villain. I was really wanting my heroes to get out of the situation that they were in. And once we got to the final beat, I was like, you know what? They really tied that up very, very well. So what would I have necessarily cut? I don't know. I just honestly think this all comes down to execution. And some people may like it. I mean, I saw the critic rating was very, very high for this film. I believe it was at 87%, which again is super high, especially for your sophomore film. So a lot of people, they enjoyed the ride that they went on within it. Like I said, technical marvel cannot overshadow that whatsoever. Characters within good use, a lot of good intent. The kid actor that they have doing all the creepy stuff with, I'm very, very curious as to why they had this kid do some of the stuff that they did. I mean, even I, who has seen a lot in film, looked away because it was just so disgusting and gross and gruesome. Again, all very intentional. I'm not saying this as a criticism. It is very intentional, but for me, I was just like, okay, I just don't think we need to go this far within it. But yeah, to me, again, there's a lot of things I appreciate about this film. I think the performances are really good. The guy who plays Andy, who is kind of our main character, and also the young girl who plays his sister, they do very well. They bounce off of Sally very well, quite a bit. Again, those moments that necessarily don't feel needed, they do feel very well established, and they do keep you engaged throughout, even though you're like, oh, come on, guys, why are you doing this? Sally is phenomenal. The Filippo brothers did a great job directing. I just honestly think the writing was probably where this movie falls short in some aspects of it. Now, it's really hard for me to review, to give a final rating on this, because I do see this going the way of Hereditary. I remember coming out of that. This was before I had a channel and all that, and I was like debating it. But I remember coming out of Hereditary and not liking it. And I was just like, oh, well, that was dumb. It was a slow burn, just like this movie. I think this is a little bit of a slow burn. It takes a little bit to get cooking, and then once you get to the third act, it's wild, and you're just kind of sitting there going, well, what the fuck did I even watch, right? But like Hereditary, this movie is still sticking with me. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still analyzing it. Like I said, there is a lot of things I do enjoy about this movie. The technical aspect of it, where they place the camera, the blocking of the film. The finale, to me, is very, very strong within it. It's just those first two acts, it just really is a little bit of a slog in some areas of it, like Hereditary. And when I, watch more reviews, which I will probably start doing now this is posted, because I have a rule. I don't watch other reviews before I do mine. I'm going to listen to these other reviews. I'm going to listen to some spoiler reviews. I might look up the ending explained as well, just, to get some more insight on it, to get some more analytics, if you will. And maybe like Hereditary, I could be completely turned around and do end up loving this movie, because like I said, there is a lot to enjoy about this movie. If you love body horror, I cannot imagine you not having a good time with it. With the way that they do the themes are very, very strong as well. I also think maybe I hurt myself a little bit with watching Talk to Me before going in, so the comparisons were just there as I was watching. I really probably should just not done the rewatch before going into this film. Maybe that could have benefited me quite a bit, because again, a lot of the themes our share, but they do tackle the themes very well too. And once we get to the end, it ties up very, very nicely. Performances are really, really good. To me, again, it's just those first 2 acts are a little bit of a bore, a little bit of a slog, and a little bit getting, and just a bunch of character moments where I'm just like, oh, why are you doing that? Oh, why did you leave this with this person? Oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And it's just a little bit frustrating. But again, once you get to that 3rd act, it does all pay off pretty well. To me, anyway. It's just, I don't know regardless of how good that 3rd act was, if it was enough for me to fully forgive the film and give it that passing grade, because again, the first 2 acts were a little bit of a struggle for me. But as right now, if I had to rank it on the lemon scale, where I go sour lemon at the bottom, bad movie, right? Expired store-bought lemonade, a lot of bad, but hey, there is some good. Store-bought lemonade, very good, but hey, there's some bad to it. Lemonade, it's a movie. Freshly squeezed lemonade, very, very good movie, just has some minor problems within it. And then a strawberry lemonade at the very top, because that is the best kind of lemonade. You know, I'm really debating between, because it's weird. Because again, everything behind the camera and in front of the camera, it's just some of the execution falls short. So therefore, that's a minor problem. Part of me wants to say freshly squeezed lemonade, even though overall, I'm not raging over the moon about this movie. I didn't necessarily love it as of right now. Again, that opinion could be changed as I have conversations about this film later on within my life after this is posted. But as of right now, I am gonna give it a lemonade. It is a movie. It is good. It is gonna be one of those, hey, if you want to go see it, go see it. If you want to wait, wait. But again, I do think there's a lot to be taken from this film. I think you can study this film for some things that you would like to do within your scripts or within your directing. Again, the script to me is the weakest part of the film, so maybe not script, but within your directing, with how you want to place the camera, with how you want to communicate to your audience without any dialogue. Because again, this movie is art. It truly is art. It's just one that I am right now not on the positive side for, and this is after sitting on it. Because I remember really being on the fence on my immediate reaction on TikTok. Because again, like, I would talk about things I didn't like about it, but then I would talk about a lot of things I did like about it. I honestly didn't know how I felt about it. As of right now, I'm not the hugest fan of the movie, but I do respect the hell out of this movie, and I do hope that makes sense. But let me know what y'all think about it down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made it this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it, especially since it was mostly me rambling. And of course, hit that subscribe button as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.